Hi there, Old and Surly here. Today I'm taking a break from the normal Star Wars videos to show you something else from pop culture. Many of you will recognize this from Rick and Morty. This is the Butterbot, and this is a Rebrickable MOC by a user that goes by the name of BZ Smeezy. And these are free instructions that are available on Rebrickable, and I will post a link to his page. Overall, it was a fun little build. Takes about a half hour. Some of that was self-induced, which I'll talk a little bit about, but as you can see here, it's a very clean build. I like it. It's probably almost life-size compared to how you see it in the cartoon itself. And I'm actually thinking about maybe finding some kind of instructions or just freelancing a little butter dish to go along with it, because I think that would be perfect for this to go on display. Overall, it's a nice build. It has articulation in both arms, obviously at the shoulder as well as the elbow. It does also have a center pin hinge here like you do see in the cartoon where it actually can move back and forth. However, that is one of the weak spots of this particular build. It uses a single Technic pin, and it seems to be very top heavy based on the number of bricks that you're putting on here. So I basically have to display it in this kind of leaning back pose to get it to stay in one place. Other than that, it tries to collapse in on itself. Although his comments do mention that sometimes you get lucky and you find a Technic pin that is a little bit more I guess a little bit more gritty or thicker, and it holds it better. I just didn't really want to mess around and look for a special Technic pin. So, you know, that is one small drawback, but as you can see, it will hold its position. Obviously, those same pins are used at the other different points, and there's no major issues there. Another small, not nuisance, I guess you could say, but just a note, the treads that are used for both of the treads on here do not actually connect to those center wheels. So they're basically just kind of sitting loosely on there. So this is definitely not something that you're going to be moving around with those treads. This is essentially a display piece, which, you know, is fine for me. It's just going to go up on the shelf, and I think that's perfectly fine. But that is something you should note. These treads are actually just loosely on there, and you can see they move very easily. So just be aware of that. The only other thing of note that I will mention is there is a part that is called for these top shoulder hinges. It's this Technic pin right here, and this is, hopefully it kind of shows in there. This one is in black, but his instructions call for the gray one. And for some reason, those gray pins are going for about $6 or $7 a piece on Bricklink, whereas these ones are about 4 cents a piece. So needless to say, I switched over to these black ones. There's no degradation in it, and as you can see, you can barely see those pins up there in that shoulder anyway. So save the money, go ahead and get some other color pins instead of those gray ones that are called out in his instructions. Just one other note, he does not actually have a PDF of the steps for this. He actually uploaded the IO file, which you then have to open in the Bricklink Studio program, which is fine. However, when you do that and you export the PDF of instruction steps, it does kind of call some of these centerpiece bricks out as kind of hovering in the air for a period of time. So you're almost going to be building this backwards from the instructions to get everything in there. I wish I could explain it, and it could be user error. It could just be I don't understand how to fully use the Bricklink program correctly, which would not be the first time. So just be aware of that. You're going to see a couple of weird steps in here as you're actually building this frame. This is a hollow brick, so just take note of that. That added probably an extra 10 minutes to the build as I kind of puzzled through that. The only other thing I did substitute is for some reason the yellow tube was hard to find on Bricklink, so I just went ahead and found, you know, a slightly similar color, in this case a gold one, and put that on there just so that way I have both of the hoses. So again, a very fun build. In no way am I trying to take away from his design. I think overall it's nice, it's perfect. There are free instructions. Just a couple of small things to note as you're building it to make your life a little easier. It is a great display piece. I would not recommend it, obviously, like I said, for playability due to those treads, as well as for that hinge piece right there that is a little bit sensitive to movement. If you have any questions or you'd like to see some additional photos or have any comments, please feel free to reach out. I always love to hear from viewers. This is Old and Surly saying have a great day and keep building.